Call 520-609-0216.
You have a lot of different types of lashes here, it looks like. So you're taking ones that just you feel are the right size for her lashes.
Right. They're all classic extensions, and I have various lengths. And I also have two different diameters or weights, if you will. And I'm going with 0.12, which is lighter than the typical 0.15 that most people will use. And when you're going with a lighter weight extension, it allows you to go a little bit longer with the length, because you shouldn't go as a lash technician or artist, whatever you want to label that. You shouldn't go much more than 2 millimeters in length longer than what the natural lash is.
Oh.
And so that's also pretty much what we have going on here. I'll hold one here without adhesive on it, and you can I'll isolate the one lash and show you like a comparison. I don't know if you can see side by side there, the difference in the length of the extension compared to the natural lash.
Okay.
And you want to make sure that you're not going too much longer than the natural lash, because they grow out and they can become top heavy and cause breakage. And you don't want that. Working on my clients is to help them keep the integrity of their natural lashes, and teaching my clients how to take care of them at home as well, because we need to work together as a team to keep the integrity of the natural lash. Because if I'm not doing that and you lose enough natural lashes repetitively over time, they won't grow back in. And then I have nothing to attach an extension to. There's definitely a science behind it all.
And I like what I'm seeing that you're doing. You're able to kind of design it like more evenly, possibly.
Exactly.
Like
which
art,
is,
really.
Exactly. Lash artists. And so there's two reasons for that. Like you said, as you're designing, if you will, or creating the look. And then also something that factors in a lot is you don't want them to stick together. So when I'm isolating like this, I'm spreading them apart, and you can see, let's see, get that one up here. You can see how like it's pushing it over towards other extensions that could possibly still have wet adhesive, and then they'll stick together. And so then I have to go through and unstick them, because no stickies are allowed. And because what happens is, with having 3 different growth stages, in layman's terms, baby lashes, teenage lashes, and adult lashes. The first two stages, the baby and teenage lashes, those two growth stages are growing faster than when they become adults. And they kind of stay and they hang out for a while because they got as long as they're going to get, they're matured. And if you have something that is a baby lash or a teenage lash stuck to, let's say, an adult lash, and it starts growing out, it's growing faster, like I said, than that adult one, and it will tug and pull on the adult lash and could potentially pull that out of the hair follicle, which, again, as I mentioned, over time, repetitively pulling out, like if you're someone that picks on your lashes or things aren't being done properly with extensions, etc., it can kill that hair follicle, and then you won't have lashes grow back in. Kind of like the situation with waxing. So this allows the lashes that I applied on this eye, it allows the adhesive to set. And then I can go back in and isolate without worrying about getting things stuck together. Well, I don't insist that people get a specific lash cleanser. As long as you're using something that isn't oily, you shouldn't have a problem. And just using the typical face cleanser that you like to use after you cleanse your face, you can use your ring finger, which is the weakest of your fingers, and bring some of that cleanser up onto the lid to just gently cleanse the lid. So like right here, this is my ring finger, and you can just gently, use that cleanser along the lid there.
With the baby washcloth?
No, you don't want. That's for cleansing your face, not lashes. You don't want to use anything where you're going to tug or pull.
Okay.
So you want to use your fingers. You want to use your hands without an additional tool, if you will.
And then just rinse it?
And then rinse with tepid water. And then you want to brush them into place right away after you pat out the excess moisture.
We brush them?
Yes. I'll be giving you a mascara wand.
Oh.
Or some people call them spoolies.
Okay.
And you'll brush them into place. So yeah, they're still closed. All I'm doing is holding back the length of the lashes.
Okay.
The lashes grow in rows, and usually the under row is the shortest, if you will.
The babies?
Yes. And so I am putting on a little bit shorter of a length on this row of lashes, which will help create a more full look without using volumes. And so because the lashes are always growing out and shedding, just like the hair on our head, the average amount of time that most people go in between fills is 2 weeks.
Okay.
Especially with the classics. And then with the volumes, I have a couple of clients that actually go 3 weeks in between their fills. But because of the different application, they hold on better. And so some people will do what's called a hybrid, which is a combination of the classics, which we're doing now, and volumes. Because then they're not going to be as full looking as some of the girls like to wear them.
0.2?
I'm doing the 0.12s. I have them marked here. And then I'm using 9mm length is the longest length I'm putting on her right now. And then going in with 8s to give a look of fullness and density. But I'm not going too much shorter. I'm only going 1mm shorter than the longest length that we're applying. And if you feel you want something that looks a little more full, I do have 6mm and 7mm in length that can help give a more full or dense look. You know, this is a big investment, and so I will do my best to apply as close to what the client wants, let alone what I want or need to do. Because, like I said, it's an investment. You're paying good money, and they should look as close to what you want them to look like as possible.
What do you think causes your lashes to stay on longer than the people that used to do my lashes and it didn't last very long, but your lashes do last?
Did they teach you how to take care of your lashes, or did they just put them on and say see you later?
They said to brush them. People said to brush them.
Okay, so they did teach you a little bit about taking care of them. And so the other thing that it could be is body moisture and oils that get on the lashes, just like with our hair. Or also whoever is applying them may be using a very inexpensive adhesive.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It probably was the adhesive.
You know, also how they're being taken care of at home. As I mentioned earlier, we need to work together as a team to help keep the integrity of your natural lash, which will also create good retention. And so, you know, not rubbing the eyes, because rubbing can cause them to come off more quickly. The skincare products, which is why I have such an in-depth questionnaire for first-time clients, knowing the products that they're using and making sure that things don't have like petros, glycols, parabens, sulfates, things like that in your skincare products, and like no oils in like your serums and your moisturizers, because that can spread and end up on your lashes, causing for bad retention. Even if you're a side sleeper and you find that you can't really pay attention to when you're sleeping on one side or the other and the pillow is touching the lashes, just that little bit of friction from a simple cotton pillowcase can cause bad retention.
So what kind of pillowcase should we use?
Silk is ultimately the best,
Okay.
even for your hair. You know, the hair on your head, not your hair, lashes. What I'm going to do is we are going to hold this length back, which helps to expose. You see how it exposed all those natural lashes right there?
Yes.
And makes it also easier for application.
Wow.
Oh, come on. Don't get stuck to my tweezers.
Now is that brushing?
Mm-hmm. I was just making sure that there wasn't anything stuck together, and also looking at the natural lashes that are there. So I've got two little sections, one on each eye, that actually need some of the longer ones that I'm doing. The 9mm in length is the longest I'm doing, and then I'll go back in and add the 8mm in length. And so I was just kind of...
It's very much like a real lash would be because of the different lengths.
Yes, which is what I try to mimic, would be the natural growth pattern of everyone's lashes.
Wow, this is so neat looking.
So the technical names or terms for the stages of growth are adagen, which is the baby lashes, catagen is the teenage lashes, and telogen. I think I'm saying that last one right.
Sounds right. What about swimming and things? If she's going on her cruise, maybe she's going to be going swimming.
So it's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you rinse the lashes to get any chemicals, like chlorines and things like that off of the lashes. Some people use a spray bottle of water and just kind of spritz them a little and keep that handy when you're hanging out by the pool.
Well, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the salt too. You said like if we sweat, the sweating can cause. So just to rinse off like that too.
Yeah, if you can. So like what I recommend to clients that are actively exercising, our sweat has toxins in it, and our sweat can get onto the lashes. And so I recommend to my clients, even if you're just 5 minutes from home and you're going right home to take a shower, go in the restroom and rinse them and pat them dry before you head home, because you want to get those, if there's any of your sweat that contains those toxins that has gotten on your lashes, the longer it's there, the more chance of causing bad retention, breaking down the adhesive of the extensions. So just some little tips and tricks of things that you can do, to help with retention.
And this is the classic style?
These are classics, yes.
Well, they're just beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you recommend anything like if they do get clumpy or if one begins to come off, like with the natural lash releasing, what do you advise for the person to do? Just brush it and let it fall out, or just brush it into alignment? If it's stuck there, say for instance.
If it's kind of in limbo, it looks like it's grown out a little bit. Is that what you mean? Yeah, you don't want to pull your extension and pull that natural lash out. So yeah, if you can, just try to brush it in place, and you might have to do that a couple of times a day. Or if it's something that's really bothering you, like it's grown out enough where it's so top heavy that it flips around, you can give me a call and we'll find a spot to put you in where I can, take just a couple minutes to remove it for you.
Very nice.
And sometimes some people will see, for whatever reason, more extreme shed within the first 3 days of application. And I, as a lash artist, will, it's in my paperwork, my new client paperwork, that within those first 3 days or 72 hours, I will do a fix. And literally, like let's say there's a whole section that for whatever reason decided they didn't want to be there anymore. Maybe I didn't cleanse them enough, or maybe they got rubbed, by the client in the nights, if they've got itchy eyes while they're sleeping. You never know what can cause that. But I will always do a fix to fix that for my clients as well within those first 3 days. This is a nano mister, and it adds moisture to accelerate the curing process of the adhesive, so the client is not as exposed to the fumes.
And it's just a water mist?
It's just a water.
Nice.
A little bit. And so I'm gonna have you go ahead and sit up.
Whoa, look at that.
And
It looks like I have eyeliner.
Used a shorter length in there to give you that look. How are your lashes?
They're great.
it's time to create a little magic in your life with alluring lashes. Call 520-609-0216.